Hey, this is Dr. C. Hope you're having a good day. I'm having a good day myself, so can't complain. Today we're going to talk about posture and exercises that we can do to either prevent or correct some problems with posture. Now, many of the things with posture, people would think about slouching. I don't have a problem with slouching, partly because of the good old nuns in grammar school. They had that 16-inch ruler, really thick sucker. If you slouched, you got it. If you didn't have your hands on a desk, you got it on the back of the hands. Oh boy, that ruler hurt. But you learned your lesson. So, they'd probably put the poor nuns in jail now for doing that. Assault and battery, you know, that's the way it is. So, posture, slouching. We're going to start at the top and work down. What are all of the things that we can have happen to us as we age? Well, starting at the top again, we're going to do our head and neck exercises because there are some things that happen at the head and neck area. And generally, it's because people are looking down. Rarely do you have people have a problem looking up. It's always looking down at the damn iPad or the phone or whatever. I feel sorry for the poor kids now. They're going to have problems later, but nevertheless, there are other reasons for that posture problem too. Obviously, in a younger person, pregnancy is a big deal. You can have an injury which forces you sometimes to have a deformity of the joint. So all of those different things, arthritis, there are many different reasons to have bad posture. So let's start with the top, like I said. Let's do our head and neck exercises first. Feet flat on the floor, shoulders down, straight back, shoulders back, looking straight ahead. All those things are important. Take a big breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now we're going to go through our routine for the head and neck. Flex and extend. Going to do just 5 of them. I want you to do 10 of them twice a day, 4 and 5. And now, side to side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now touch ear to shoulder. 1. Oh, that's tight. 2. Must have slept wrong last night. 3. 4. 5. I'm going to do a couple more. That is a tight side muscle. When you run into something that's really tight, do a few extras till you finally loosen it up a little bit. And now finally, a big rotation, one side. 2 and 3. Now we're going to go opposite direction. 1, 2, 3. That's the head and neck. Now there is one more for the neck area as well. You're going to take that left hand, put it on the right side of the head. Right arm goes out 45 degrees, pushing with that arm out, pulling right ahead. And now, opposite side. Right hand on the left side of the head. Out 45 degrees. Give it a pull. I'm going to do one more because I was tight on those sides. Out with that right arm. Give it a pull. And now, right hand, left side of the head, out with the left, and give it a pull. And back. Okay, now let's deal with the shoulders, or upper extremities, but we'll start with the shoulders. We can have problems with the shoulders as well. First of all, they can round in as we slump. That slouch is what I was talking about with posture. So we want to definitely always think about not just the breathing, but your posture as well. Shoulders down, shoulders back, touching those shoulder blades together if you can in the back, and looking straight ahead. What can we do for our shoulders? Well, first of all, we can stretch and strengthen the muscles. There are 4 muscles that attach to a thing called a rotator cuff. 4 muscles. It's not the ones that you see. What we see is, of course, biceps, triceps in the back, deltoid on the side. This is what you see. But they're not the ones that connect to the rotator cuff, which is that area that supports the shoulder joint. What are the 4? Supraspinatus, infraspinatus, subspinalis, and teres major. Those 4 muscles. And how can we identify if you have a problem? Very simple. You don't have to go to a doctor to identify a problem. First of all, there's 2 tests that we do for the supraspinatus muscle. I'm going to come a little forward on the chair. First of all, you're going to keep that elbow right in. Keep it in, and then the elbow at a right angle, just like that. You're going to stop any motion by holding that elbow in to the chest. Now, try to move it out. If you have pain trying to move it out, that means a problem with the supraspinatus muscle. And so, the second test is a drop test. You got that arm at the side, right angles again. You're going to passively lift that arm up, right, same position, and let it drop. If there's pain when it drops, you've got a problem, probably with a little tear in the supraspinatus muscle. That's the one that goes over the surface of the scapula, the shoulder blade in the back. Now there's also an infraspinatus that goes under that area. So supra and infra, over the shoulder scapula, over here. And that particular muscle we can easily identify because it supports the shoulder and it gives you support, especially with external rotation. Now, how do you internally and externally rotate a shoulder? Well, again, if the shoulder is in, going this way, you're internally rotating. Going out, you're externally rotating. So, in order to stretch or strengthen those 2 muscles, supra or infraspinatus muscles, and also the subscapularis muscle as well. Subscapularis does all of the internal rotating. So in order to stretch it, you're going to put resistance here and pushing against a little resistance, internal rotation. That's going to help to strengthen that supraspinatus muscle. Now for the infraspinatus, that's going to externally rotate. So what do? You put pressure on the outside and don't let it go. Don't put pressure on the wrist. It's the arm that you're trying to simply use shoulder rotation, and you're going to try to strengthen that supraspinatus muscle. Very good. So those are the things that are important as far as support of the shoulder, those 4 muscles. Most of the injuries you get to the rotator cuff are not acute injuries. They're usually chronic because of the type of work people are doing overhead. People who do a lot of overhead work, like painting, for example, or plastering, or that type of work, overhead work, that generally, chronically, will irritate and may get a little small tear. And there are, most of the tears that are in the rotator cuff are small tears. They define 3 different levels of tear: tier 1, 2, and 3. First tier tear is less than 3 millimeters. It's a really small tear. You need to have an MRI to diagnose that. Now, you can get a second degree tear, which is between 3 and 6 millimeters. A millimeter is damn small, but that's a second degree tear. That usually, with physical therapy and all, you'll heal that. You don't need surgery on that. And then the third tier is getting a full thickness tear of a muscle. Now, the most common muscle to tear is that supraspinatus muscle. The second most common, actually, is the biceps. I don't know if you've ever seen a biceps tear, but basically that biceps muscle that's in the front, what you see is a big fat muscle here and then nothing up here. In other words, it tears up here. So the muscle contracts down here, you get a big lump here and nothing up here. So what we want to do now is to strengthen those muscles on the outside. Not just the ones on the inside, but the ones on the outside. What we're going to do, and you can use weights. That's the biceps. That's the biceps. You see? And the stronger the weights you use, the stronger you're going to make that biceps. Now, in order to exercise the triceps, there are 2 ways of doing it. Number 1, arms go out, palms facing down. Just bring it back. Bring it back. There's 3, 4, 5. Now, the second way that you can strengthen the triceps, holding it overhead and just going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Now, if you're really into strengthening that triceps, you're going to hold on to the sides of your seat and you're going to walk it out nice and straight. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and walk it back. So those are the ways that you can strengthen that. What about that deltoid muscle on the side? That's a big muscle, and it has 3 parts. 1 in the front, called the anterior deltoid, 1 on the side, lateral, and 1 in the back, posterior. So it's a big muscle. So you got 3 separate functions that deltoid is doing. The one that we commonly use to strengthen is simply lifting up to 90 degrees on the side. That's getting that lateral deltoid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, how do we get the anterior deltoid? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do we get the posterior deltoid? Opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can also do it with the elbow bent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those are the deltoid exercises. So we had biceps, triceps, deltoid, and we had the 4 rotator cuff muscles. What else now in the shoulder can we do? Well, if you have an injury to the shoulder and there's pain, The very simplest thing that you want to do is try to prevent that joint from getting scar tissue. They call it a frozen joint. A lot of extra scar. Simple. Rotating. Put your fingers on the tips of the shoulders. Make circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then other direction. 2, 3, 4, 5. If that hurts, then start even more benign. Just let that arm hang. Come a little forward on your chair, bending, keeping a nice straight back. And just use back and forth, back and forth, back, forth. And then you can go out and back, out and back, and 3, 4, 5. And then you can just use it as a pendulum. Circles. 3, 4, 5. And then opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now when we do our exercises, we use usually this method. Fingertips on the shoulders, and we also go down and up. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then out and touch. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we actually bring them forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we also can use the goalpost. Bring them forward, touching elbow and hand. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we also do that exercise using arms and legs. Yes, what we do then, we have goalposts and leg posts basically in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, that's a good one to practice because that is a very good shoulder and hip exercise. So, let's go on. Let's do the upper back. Simple upper back exercise. Sitting up nice and straight. And we're going to do a cat dog. Now, the cat arches the back out. And then pulls it in. Arch. Pull it in. Arch. Pull it in. One more. And pull it in. That's a very benign, very simple, and a very effective stretching exercise. And it's a dynamic stretch. That's what you do at the beginning. It's a dynamic stretch. It's very similar to a mobile joint like the shoulders or hips where we do the rotation. I said that's always the simplest to do and the safest to do, easiest to do, and it's the first one you should do. And this is, cat dog is the first one you should do for the upper back. What else can we do for the upper back? Well, you also can bend it forward. We're going to separate our feet and we're going to bend it forward. And bend it back. Breathing in as you bend it back. Breathing out as you bend it forward. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. And back again. Now, we know also that whether it's the upper or lower back, a stretch is good. So we always will raise an arm, other arm down, Stretch it out. Stretch it the other way. Stretch it out. Stretch it the other way. Stretch it out. And stretch it the other way. And now we also can do the twists by simply putting the hand onto the side of the chair. Twist the upper body this way. Hold on to the chair with the other hand. Twist it that way. Gonna do one more. Hold on left hand, over with the right. Hold on right hand, over with the left. And back. Okay, what else can we do? We're talking now about that upper back. I love the stretch for the upper back. The eagle. Out with the arms, right under left, right grabs the left, and then down. And you can feel that stretching across the upper back. Out with the arms again. Now left under right. Left grabs the right and down. Excellent, excellent upper back stretch. And you can always add to it by taking a big breath in and out. So, those are the things for the upper back. Now, what about the lower back? Well, I'm going to refer again to my cheat sheet because I sometimes will forget some of the darn things, and when I do, you pay the price. I want to make sure I get in everything. Okay. Every now and then, we can do a figure 4. How do we do a figure 4? Ankle over the knee, pushing down. Another way we can do it, if you have a big enough chair, is put that foot up against the inside of the opposite thigh and push it down. That's a figure 4. And of course you can do the other side. See, I can get this side all the way down. Definitely easier on that left side for me. And down. Okay, so we can do that figure 4. And we also can do a hamstring stretch. Stretch that hamstring right out, push down on the knee. Really stretching that hamstring. Now that's obviously just on one side, just the right leg. And we can do the left leg as well. A good hamstring stretch. And back. Now when we're talking about the back, we also have to know your anatomy. This is the Quadratus Lumborum here. Now in the upper part of the back, you have the Trapezius. So the Trapezius is a big, well, both of them are big muscles. First we'll do the Trapezius. That's divided into 3 sections, top, middle, and bottom. Top section, bow and arrow, left arm out, right arm. Stretches back. You're stretching the top of that trapezius muscle. 3, 4, 5. Right arm out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's get the middle of the trapezius. We're going to row. Hold on to that row, onto the oars. pull back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now the lower part of the trapezius. With this one here, we also get the latissimus. Right hand inside of the left knee, pull back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left hand inside of the right knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's the trapezius. Now, we got that quadratus lumborum. We're going to do that stretch again. Right arm up, over, and then we call this the mermaid. Why? I have no idea why. I don't look like a frickin' mermaid. Up with the left, over with the right, but you're stretching this side, tightening this side. That's the quadratus lumborum. Let's do one more. Right, left, and back. Now the other muscle in the back is called the piriformis muscle. And we did one of the piriformis stretches. I'm going to show you how you can do the others. You can stretch it's a small muscle, but it's very important because that sciatic nerve runs right under it or a little bit through it. So what do? Cross your leg. Well, does that do anything? No, but if then you move, you can feel a pull in that piriformis. Cross the other side, piriformis. So in other words, anytime you can cross a leg over the other and your body, you're going to feel a pull and stretch that muscle. I tell people that you can do it in bed. You can lie down, cross the leg over, and give it a stretch, and give it a stretch. And then the other side, you're laying down in bed, stretch it over. Very simple. Now also you need to strengthen your core. You need to strengthen the core muscles. How do we do that? Hands across the chest, forward on your chair, all the way back. And pull it forward. Keep your back nice and straight. Back again. And forward. Back again. And forward. And let's do 4. And forward. One more. 5. And forward. What else can we do with our legs now? What if you have a problem with that hip? Well, what we usually do, bring that leg up, or you can do what I like to do. Remember that single leg pull? 1, 2, 3. If you pull and over, you're stretching the piriformis. So pull, over, pull, over, pull, over. Other side, pull, over, and one more, pull, over, and down. So there are many different ways of stretching and strengthening the piriformis. So, and that's for the back pain. So we're running a little bit on time, I guess, maybe a little long, but these are all areas to improve your posture. These are all posture improving exercises. I especially love the rowing. I love the rowing. Remember, straight back, shoulders down, shoulder blades back, looking straight ahead. This is Dr. C. Have a good day.